Hiya, I've had a few requests for some lower back exercises. A few of you, like me, are missing the gym and missing being able to do some deadlift sessions and kind of working those lower backs and the glutes. So I'm going to do some exercises to try and help you keep that lower back strong, which is so important in everyday life, let alone for people who are missing going to the gym. Some of them are going to be for times. What that means is you do it for as long as you can. Some of you, there's going to be specific times and specific amounts of reps, so I'll talk you through that. Like with any exercise, make sure you're fit and healthy and you've got no underlying injuries, and if you are taking part in this workout, you're doing it on your own course, which means that if you get injured, it's not my fault, basically. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to do the plank, just to try and get everything warmed up, engage that frontal plane and the anterior core as well. So plank, remember you need to try and keep your shoulders and your elbows in line. If you come too far back or too far forward, then your muscles aren't engaged, the core muscles that you're trying to engage aren't there. So keeping everything in line, trying to make sure that your bum isn't too stuck in the air or it's not too arched like that. Okay, so trying to keep everything straight, keeping your back still, back straight, engaging that core, bringing that tummy button up and holding it there for as long as you can. If it's just for 10 seconds, then that's something to work on. So just making sure that you don't start to go down any lower, all right, because then obviously you're not engaging the right muscles, and that's what's really important. So I'm not going to hold that for much longer, because what I want you to do is to turn the video off and see how long you can do it for. Okay, so next up is we're going to do the glute bridge. Some of you might be thinking, well, what have the glutes got to do with strengthening your lower back? But it kind of helps to engage the posterior chain, and that is what kind of keeps everything in line. And if everything is strong, it works together properly. So making sure that your feet are flat on the floor, that your knees are bent. You're going to lie on your back, and what I want you to do is to engage your glutes, engage your bum. And then when you do that, your feet are flat on the floor and they're going to push down into the ground, and you're going to lift up. And I really want you to hold that there for about 3 seconds and then lower it down again. Okay, and then hold it up into that isometric contraction. That means it's not moving. And then back down again. And then hold it up. Back down. So we're going to do this 10 times, really squeezing the glutes, and back down again. 7, 8. So engaging these glutes, strengthening them up, is going to make everything work together nicely. You can actually feel the arch. As you arch in the back, you can feel that is going to strengthen those muscles. Okay, and then we're going to stop there. What we're going to do is have a little bit of a rest, so probably a rest for about 20 seconds, 15-20 seconds. And we're going to do those 10 3 times. So most exercises, you either do it for a certain period of time or you do a certain amount of reps. So we're going to do it for 3 times. But the second time, what I'm going to do is going to show you how to make it a little bit harder. So if you found that fine, if you found that you could feel it in your glutes and your back, then leave it there. If you found it a little bit too easy, this time what I want you to do, again, stay in position, but have your legs straight, okay? So keeping this leg straight, so I'm doing my left leg first, and then pushing it up, and then back down again. Push up, and back down. So again, engaging your core all the time. What you're doing is you're contracting the glute of the foot that is on the floor. So just lifting that up, hold, and back down. Remember, if you've given this a go and you're struggling a little bit, just pop that foot down and go back to a 2-footed glute bridge. So again, push up. So you're going to do this 10 times each leg. And then swap legs. And then there. 2. 2. 3, remember, hold it there in that isometric contraction 2 to 3 seconds. It is a lot harder on one leg. So keep going. It's good. If you need a little bit of extra support, you can pop your hands down. Okay, keep going. Lost count, I think that's 10. Okay, fine. Okay, let's sit up and have a little rest again. Okay, so what I want you to do is just pause and do that another 10 times. Hiya, so the next one we're on our front and we're going to do something called the swimmer. Now the swimmer is an exercise that really helps, again, support your posterior chain, which is all of these muscles down here. It helps stabilise it and it really supports your whole body. So the swimmer, you're going to lift your right arm and your left leg up at the same time and hold for 3, and then back down, and then do the other opposite. So your left arm, right leg, and down. So lift up, hold for 1 to 2 seconds. Really concentrate on that glute contraction. Bring in your hips, pushing your hips down and bring in your thighs, so your quads and your knees right off the floor. Okay, and then at the top, really try and push up as well. So you can really feel the top of your back. So you're engaging your traps and your rhomboids. Sorry, I keep looking forward because I'm aware that if I twist, it's going to change the way in which my muscles are working. I don't want to injure myself. Okay, so again, holding it for 1 to 2 seconds in that isometric contraction at the top, back down. Okay, so you're going to do 10 on each leg and arm. Really beginning to feel it in my lower back now, which is good. Okay, and then when you've done 10 on each side, have a little rest. It might be that you need to just stretch out in that child's position a little bit, just while you're recovering. Okay, have a little rest, move it around, move your back around a bit. And then we're going to do that again another 2 times. So what I'd like you to do is pause, do those exercises. So do a total of 20, so 10 on each leg, each round. So do 20 of the Supermans, pause it again, stop again, have a recovery, and then do it again. So you've done it in a total of 3 times. Toe touches. So having your feet about shoulder width apart, facing forward, making sure everything is engaged. And all I want you to do is to touch the opposite hand to the opposite toe. So right arm to left toe, left arm to right toe. But what's really important here is that you're keeping your legs straight. So what we're going to do is engage our hamstrings, which are these big muscles here. Do it from the side so you can see. And I also want you to keep your back really straight. Okay, so opposite hand to opposite foot, and then really keeping that back straight when you're coming down. There. Okay, I don't want you to be arching and bending your knees. Okay, so opposite arm to opposite leg. If you can touch your toes, brilliant. If you can't, go as far as you can, as far as you can feel the stretch. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 10 on each leg, making sure the movement is nice and smooth. There. As we're coming up, it's a bit like a deadlift if you do that, so you're kind of engaging your glutes, really squeezing at the top. Remembering to keep that back straight. Keep those hamstrings tight by keeping your knees extended, being straight. So 10 on each leg. Have a little shake out. Okay, so what I want is for you to do 10 on each leg 3 times. So just pause the video, do another 10 on each leg, so 20 in total. Remember, opposite arm to opposite leg, keeping your legs straight, keeping that back straight, so in a horizontal. Try not to bend it, because otherwise you're not gonna work the lower back muscles properly. So turn it off, do another 2 lots of 10 on each leg, and then come back again. Next we're back on our fronts again, so we're gonna do back extension. So there's some different variations to make this a bit harder as well. If you've got a stool or something, or a exercise ball, you know, like one of those big birthing balls, you can do it on there by putting your feet against the wall or getting somebody to hold your feet, but it's quite, I'm aware that not everybody has that available, so we're going to do it on the floor. But what you need to make sure is that your feet stay on the floor. So if you're going to struggle to do that, it might be that you hook your feet underneath the sofa, or you get somebody to stand on your feet. So what I want you to make sure is that I want you to make sure you're recruiting your hamstrings, so you're using your hamstrings and your glutes to keep those legs on the floor. Okay, so what I want you to do is just bring it up, hold for 3, and then back down for 3. Bringing it up, 2, 3, and then down. Okay, so we're going to do this 10 times, but making sure that you're able to push the front of your legs should be on the floor. So if you're doing this, okay, you need to find something to hook your feet under or get somebody to stand on them. So we're going to do 10. So 1, 2, 3, that's 1. 1, 2, 3, that's 2. 1, 2, 3, that's 3. So really engaging those glutes, pushing them down, making sure that you remain keeping loads of tension, recruiting those hamstrings, pushing them down, because then by now you should really be able to feel the muscles in your lower back working really hard. 2, 3. Okay, one more, I think. I can't count and talk, I'm rubbish. Okay, so done that 10 times. So again, might be that you want to come up into the child's pose, just stretch it out a bit. Okay, now to make it harder, what you can do is put your arms out. Okay, so when you're coming up, so obviously because if your arms out with gravity, it makes it like a bit of an extra weight. So bring it back up. So you're there, bringing it up, 2, 3, and then down. So that makes it a little bit harder. Okay, so what I want you to do is just stop the video, do another 2 sets of 10, either the normal version or make it a little bit harder. 2 sets of 10, making sure that your legs are stuck to the floor. Then finally, very similar to the swimmer, what we're going to do is the Superman. So Superman, you're on your knees, keeping your back straight. So trying to keep your tummy engaged, stomach. So try and visualise that you're bringing your belly button, your tummy button right into your spine, so that you're engaging it. Okay. Hips and knees at 90 degrees. What you're going to do, again like the swimmer, you're going to bring opposite arm and opposite leg out. So this is actually requires you to engage your core a bit more. So left leg out, right arm up, hold for 3 if you can, and then back down, and then left arm up, right leg out, hold for 3 if you can. So like the swimmer, you're going to do this for 10 times each side. So in total you're going to do 20 each set. Brilliant. So really engage in that core as well. So that's going to help with your balance. It is quite a difficult thing to do. Holding, engaging those glutes again, because they're so important in that posterior chain. Everything is connected together, so you kind of need to work everything. Keeping that spine in a neutral position. Okay, to make it a little bit harder, you can actually bring them up, but personally I prefer just to keep it neutral. Okay, once you've done 10 on every side, I want you to pause. And repeat the exercise another 2 sets. So again, when I say a set is 10 reps on each side, so you'll be doing 20 in total, and then have another pause and then do another set. Okay, so once you've done that, we're done. Hopefully that's helped you. So, you know, try and do these at least 2 or 3 times a week, because your lower back is really important. Link these with some of my other shorter videos, so the 6-minute abs or the arms one, and I'm going to do some other HIIT sessions as well. So really try and do little bits if you can. Okay, thank you, and I'll